In light of the 20-year anniversary of 9/11, I spoke with Mike Dowd, a former sergeant with the Westchester County Police Department, located just north of New York City. He was working on 9/11 and brought a team of officers down to the site of the World Trade Center.
Our goal at the moment, obviously, was try to rescue, try to find people alive, to get them the help they need, and to get them out of there. We did not encounter too many victims who were still alive. Those that were on the streets surrounding the World Trade Center area. I have a vivid memory of what looked like a glove seared to a building a little bit above where we were. And it wasn't until a couple days later that the glove appeared to deteriorate, and it became evident that the glove was not a glove, but that of a human hand.
What do you carry with you now that it's been 20 years? What do you carry with you to this day? Physically, mentally?
I guess because of my service at the site, the days and weeks and maybe 6, 7, 8 weeks there, I, like many others, including thousands of other first responders, have suffered numerous adverse health effects from it. Personally, I've had 3, 4 cancers, 5, 6 surgeries, including one 2 weeks ago to my cysts, which, to quote my surgeon at Mount Sinai Hospital, were destroyed. I've been diagnosed with a total of 7 certified health conditions. I try to stay in contact with other first responders, some of whom got sicker than I did, and others who may not have been as sick as I've become. It's something that, as we approach the 20th anniversary, although it never escapes me, it's something like in the next few days, I want to separate myself. I am somewhat disturbed that 20 years later, a lot of people have forgotten about it. And in fairness to some like yourself, Shannon, I don't know how old you are, but many young adults today were not alive on 9/11. My children were both very, very young.
I know you said you plan to disconnect. What do you hope that other people do if they are a little bit or a lot more removed than you are?
I just wish people would remember. You know, we've seen news stories about people misbehaving on aircraft, people getting angry when they have to go through airport security and being asked to remove their shoes and have their carry-on luggage searched. I want people to remember that the events the morning of 9/11 not only affected the New York City area communities, the Boston community, the community around Shanksville, Pennsylvania, and the community in Washington, D.C., where the events both started and terminated. I want people to remember the victims that survived. It was probably the single worst act of terrorism in the history of the world. But I also tried to tell people it was probably the greatest rescue effort, single rescue effort undertaking in such a short period of time.
I personally want to thank you for your service. Being from New York, I was very young, but that experience is very close to my heart. So I hope that you take your time to disconnect over the next few days and that the rest of the country does remember.
I hope they remember, and I hope with whatever faith they practice, they at least reflect within their faith on that day and think about not only the souls lost that day, but all of the people, not just cops, not just firefighters, but all people who were affected by that 20 years ago, almost to the day. Just keep them in your thoughts.